Hello everybody, this is Tracy Eaton from Remarkable Franchises and welcome to this edition of Franchise Conversations. Now I'm really delighted today to have Martine Hoosen with me. Martine is the founder and franchisor of BookWiz Bookkeeping. She's been a franchisee, she still is a franchisee as well, and also Martine works with a lot of franchisees and franchisor companies to help them with their bookkeeping. So I thought I'd bring her in today, or actually I'm the privilege of visiting Martine's office to share with you a couple of the things that she's seen that franchisees have challenges and struggles with, and the things that they may not be aware that they don't even know about compliance and from a legal perspective with regards to their bookkeeping and tax and those sorts of things. So welcome, Martine.
Thank you.
So if you wouldn't mind sharing with the viewers, what are some of the issues and struggles that you've seen franchisees have with regards to their bookkeeping, their P&Ls, that sort of thing?
A lot of it is really just lack of understanding, not knowing how to read their reports, not knowing what their obligations are as employers and business owners. And many of them are completely unaware of the consequences to lack of compliancy around payroll and superannuation and BAS.
Mm-hmm.
So the penalties can be quite huge and can really cripple and bring a business down once it really gets out of control.
That's right. And so franchisees have enough challenges themselves, with their operations, sometimes with their teams and things like that. So they really need to keep on top of this so that they don't actually have the legal ramifications.
Yeah.
So tell me, what are some of the challenges or problems you've seen with regards to compliance, say from a BAS perspective?
Many people don't even know what a BAS is when they first start their business. They get a few months into it, and if they haven't had that real training at their through that induction phase of purchasing their franchise, I've seen people come in and they've gone 6 months, 12 months, and haven't done a BAS and didn't understand what the process was. Then they've brought in a bookkeeper to dig them out of the hole, and then suddenly it's this huge amount of money that they owe, and it just becomes, trying to get payment arrangements in place, trying to then maintain all their future obligations, and the hit to their cash flow is huge because they've not put away that money.
Correct.
They've spent it thinking,
rather than put aside the GST as they go.
That's right.
And so what actual flow-on effect have you seen as a result of people, being 6 months behind,
I've seen people
behind?
Completely lose their businesses.
That's correct.
I've seen franchisees lose everything.
Mm-hmm.
And not just because of lack of lodging their BAS, non-payment of superannuation, issues with not paying their staff correctly because they didn't get that right advice or the right training, and following on from all of that, they have, they end up in court, or they have the tax office chasing them. They even have garnishes put on their bank account by the tax office. They just sort of wipe the funds from their bank.
Yeah, I was just going to say, would you explain to the listeners what that actually is?
Yeah, so basically if you ignore it, which what a lot of people do, they stick their head in the sand and they think it's all just going to magically go away, and then eventually they will get a letter. The letter gets sent to them, it gets sent to the bank, and the bank has to allow the tax office to
completely take a clean sweep of the entire bank
Generally,
account.
what they'll do is it'll be a percentage. They might say 80% of the balance that is in their bank, so they won't leave them penniless. And that's extreme, but that's what happens.
Absolutely,
just from completely ignoring what they need to be doing. So getting them self-educated right from the onset of going into a business, whether it be a franchise business or any business.
Yeah, any business, of course.
You need to educate yourself in your obligations around BAS payroll.
Now, I was talking to Martine earlier, and it's interesting about these obligations and where you get your she's talking about getting the training and induction and where you actually get that from, because it's really important that you get that from the right people and people that are really qualified and accredited to be able to do that. So, Martine, would you just share sort of in getting your BAS set up and all of that, sort of what people should be looking for?
You should always be looking for a registered BAS agent if you're going to outsource any of it. If you don't know what you're doing yourself, you should be getting an expert on board to make sure you're set up right. And if you're going to do that, they must be a registered BAS agent.
So not just someone who says they can do BAS and
Yeah.
all of that, they've got to be actually registered. So make sure you ask that question.
Yeah. It gives you a level of protection. So
May I interrupt for a second?
Yeah.
And Martine is a registered BAS agent too. I just
Yeah.
thought I'd let you know that.
Yeah. So what happens is if you use a bookkeeper who isn't registered and something goes terribly wrong and there is an investigation, there's actually no protection for you as a business owner, and the ATO will, put everything on you and you're liable for everything. If you use a registered BAS agent and something goes wrong, the responsibility is on the BAS agent, and you have this protection from the ATO because you have done the right thing by using a registered BAS agent.
So that investment, so don't look at it as a cost of using a registered BAS agent. That investment in that actually is your protection as well, and it makes sure everything gets done correctly.
That's right.
And it's your protection if anything does go wrong.
And their job is to keep you informed as well, and make sure that you are compliant and keep you advised at every step of the way around GST, PAYG, superannuation.
Okay, great. Now, is there anything else that you'd like to share with people around now you do provide training and things like that, and some of the things that they should be seeking regular, updating on?
Yeah. So definitely you want to stay up to speed around payroll. There are so many changes all the time in award specifications, and the interpretation of trying to interpret these awards is a minefield, and you really do need an expert. And us as BAS agents, we can't give the legal advice, but we do have the resources to be able to get that information for you. That is the biggest issue that I see day to day, is people just not understanding their obligations around paying their staff correctly, and where to go to get the right advice and the right information.
Yeah, that's right. And the thing is, franchisees could go out and learn all of this and take it on board and do it all themselves. But the thing is, in business, and I know too as a business owner, you've got so many other things to do. You don't really want to actually take your eye off the ball as far as bringing in new business and managing your team and your clients and things like that, to do all of this other stuff that you're not really qualified for, even if you do get training. And also that will obviously take up a lot of your time and energy when someone else could be doing it for you, and you could be focusing on other areas of the business.
That's right. And it's actually not a bigger job as what people think. They seem to think that it's going to cost them a fortune to outsource, but there is so much technology out there now that is streamlined, cloud technology. We have some businesses, it's literally 2 hours a week and they're completely up to date. Of course, that will vary depending on the industry,
on the size of the business and the volume and things.
But to know that everything is done, they get a set of reports. We help them with understanding their reports. Understanding reports is crucial to a business, and understanding cash flow as well. I think for me, looking at a cash flow statement is more important than looking at a P&L. P&Ls are important, especially when you want to know what your margins are and that sort of thing, your cost of goods. However, cash flow statements are crucial. You need to know that you can afford to pay for your overheads, and that's what a cash flow statement will do. People see a P&L and they think, oh, well, I've made a profit, I've got all that money in the bank, and they don't realise that money is now paying down their liabilities. They have a lack of understanding.
Absolutely. So that cash flow really is key. And actually, when we were spending some time with the Futurist a week or so ago, with the trends that are happening globally, is that we really are, that cash flow has become more and more important. So moving from capitalisation and assets through to cash flow is actually where the world's at. So this is even more important, than ever before.
Cash flow is crucial to any business. Understanding a cash flow statement, I think it's something, if you're going to go into business, you need to understand what that is. Cash flow statements, balance sheets, P&Ls, if you want to be able to analyse your business and know how to make clear, good financial decisions, you need to be looking at all three of those reports, not just a profit and loss statement.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. And look, now different from all of that, now Martine, as I said, is a franchisor as well. So with your role as the franchisor dealing with your franchisees, so what do you do to help your franchisees actually stay up to date and stay compliant with all of these things too?
So we actually have monthly sessions. The last Friday of every month, we get everyone together. My franchisees know that that's permanently booked out in their calendars. So unless something really crucial comes up, I expect that they're all going to be there. And sometimes it's really just a chance for everyone to get together, to have a chat about what's been going on, to feel like they're part of a team, chat to others about problems that they might have, come across and how they might have gotten around them. And other times it's very structured training. If there's been a change in legislation, that I need to know that they're across to make sure our clients are going to benefit from that knowledge. Software changes, new technologies and that sort of thing. So every month, sometimes it might just be 2 or 3 hours, and then sometimes it's a full day, depending on what. And we also often have other experts come in. We'll have software providers come in and talk to them about some new amazing things that are coming up, or it could be a marketing expert coming in, talking to them about how to network effectively. So,
great.
And we ask our franchisees for feedback about what they want.
Awesome that you're actually, it's a great place for us to wrap up on too. So really great that you're providing not only ongoing training with regards to the compliance and the tools to operate your franchise network, but also those other things for development of the franchisee over and above that sort of thing. And really awesome that Martine's creating that collaborative environment, which once again is so important in these particular times. So Martine, thank you so much for joining me today. And obviously if you would like to get on top of all of your bookkeeping and your compliance and your legal obligations around those financial things, then make sure you engage a fully qualified bookkeeper who's BAS registered, and contact BookWiz. And just actually, why not share with them what number can they call, Martine?
So our office here, 08 9375 9534, or through our website. You can actually, at any point in our website, you can make contact with us, or just info@bookwizbookkeeping.com.au.
Okay, so the website is bookwizbookkeeping.com.au. Bookwiz Bookkeeping. Oh, there we go. .com.au. Absolutely. Thanks, Martine. Great to have you.
Thanks.